Hello everyone, what did you associate Switzerland with? Of course, with the most reliable banking system, watches, cheese, ski resorts, and pocket knives. But that's not all. The outstanding bodybuilder Jean-Pierre Fux was born in this picturesque European country, which will be discussed in today's issue. Sit back, we're getting started. Jean-Pierre Fux was born on November 5, 1968 in the Swiss city of Brig. As a child, he was fond of playing sports such as hockey and soccer, and also showed himself in gymnastics and swimming. By the way, it was in the pool that Jean-Pierre first discovered bodybuilding. His swimming coach was the Swiss bodybuilding champion. Nevertheless, despite his impressive athletic prowess, JP, Fux, his nickname, was a typical ectomorph, tall, thin with long bones and thin muscles. Contrary to logic, Fux, after working out in the gym for only a year, gained as much as 30 kilograms. Although he recalls that fat accounted for most of the weight, the muscle growth was still monstrous. As soon as young Jean-Pierre tried to hold the barbell in his hands, he instantly decided for himself that he would never let it go again. During the first weeks of training in the gym, his body transformed literally before our eyes. Fux discovered that he has excellent genetics, which is likely to allow him to achieve serious heights in bodybuilding. At the age of 17, Jean-Pierre already weighed 100 kilograms. The parents of the young bodybuilder were not very happy with how their son's weight increased, as they often had to update his wardrobe. Moreover, the family was generally against bodybuilding. The parents did not see any prospects for their child in this sport, and believed that Jean-Pierre should study in order to be able to earn a living in the future. It is worth noting that the Fux family did not have a high income. On the contrary, there was often not enough money in the family. This situation forced the young man to move out from his parents and rent a separate apartment. At that time, Jean-Pierre was dating a girl named Karen. She moved in with him because she believed in her fiancé. She believed so much that she even supported Jean-Pierre with her own money for 3 whole years. In 1993, Fux became the 4th at the World Amateur Championships, and a year later he won there in the heavyweight category. The long-awaited professional card is in his hands. The young Swiss's career took off. His form amazed the audience. It seemed that no one could compare with his seat. The first professional tournament started. They were followed by contracts and offers. Jean-Pierre became the face of many magazines and manufacturers of sporting goods and nutrition. Soon he was lucky enough to sign a contract with Joe Weider himself. Incredibly, it's a fact that there are practically no tall athletes among bodybuilding stars. The average score of the top 10 bodybuilders stopped at around 175 to 177 centimeters. But as in any sport, the world of iron has its own non-standard examples. Jean-Pierre Fux was probably one of the most prominent representatives of a small group of tall bodybuilders. The 182-centimeter athlete impressed the audience as an amateur. After winning the 1994 World Championships, sports commentators unanimously predicted a bright future for him and moreover predicted the British Dorian Yates to take the place of the multiple Olympia. At his debut professional tournament in San Jose in 1996, Fux immediately entered the top 5 in the company of such stars as Kevin Levrone, Paul Dillett, Vince Taylor. Our hero beat not just anyone but Lee Priest himself, Andreas Munzer, and Porter Cottrell. In the same year, he performs at 2 more Arnold Classic tournaments, where he takes 9th place, and San Francisco Pro, again quite successfully, getting into the top 5. In both competitions, the magnificent Kevin Levrone takes the 1st place. The Arnold Classic tournament in 1996 was generally remembered for the incredibly dramatic duel between Flex Wheeler and Kevin Levrone, and also the extremely unsuccessful performance of Sean Ray, who has never performed anywhere else except Olympia. But even these events were not overshadowed by the appearance on stage of a monstrously massive monster named Jean-Pierre Fux. With a height of 182 centimeters, Fux weighed 127 kilograms, but it seemed that everything in him was 140. The incredible thickness of the chest muscles, the wide and thick back, the gigantic hips, like curbstones. The heavyweights of big bodybuilding were saved from a severe defeat only by the monsters not particularly prominent shape. On September 21st, Pierre Fux travels to Chicago for his Olympia debut. The competition at that tournament was such that it could not have been at any tournament before or after. Nasser El Sonbati, Chris Cormier, Ronnie Coleman, Paul Dillett, Flex Wheeler, Kevin Levrone, Sean Ray, Dorian Yates. Any of them would have easily picked up a Sandow statuette today, the number of stars that amazes the imagination today. And in such a company, the audacious newcomer Fux becomes the 8th, bypassing Charles Claremont, Mike Francois, and Aaron Baker. He had survived as much as he could at that moment. And 5 days later, I went on an incredible European tour. In just 11 days, he performs at the Grand Prix of Spain, Germany, Great Britain, the Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Russia. He shows different results from 9th place in foggy Albion to silver medals in St. Petersburg. Probably this pace exhausted our hero so much that the very next year, in 1997, he did not perform at all, trained a lot, and concentrated all his efforts to get in the best shape for the main Olympia '97 tournament. The bodybuilder described his workouts as intuitive training. This method is sometimes used by professional bodybuilders and consists in evaluating the response of muscles to exercises and building a program after in-depth analysis and selection of optimal exercise techniques. That year, for the second time in history, the Mr. Olympia tournament was held over 2 days. Just like a year ago, Dorian Yates, the British monster of the masses, won with almost no chance for anyone. Nasser El Sonbati became the second. Sean Ray, Kevin Levrone, Paul Dillett, and Lee Priest rounded out the top 6, but Pierre Fux became the 7th in a difficult fight, beating Chris Cormier, Ronnie Coleman, and Milo Sarkev. After Olympia '97, everyone predicted a great future for Fux in which he would be able to oust Dorian Yates himself, and Fux tried. When asked about his plans, he replied, "My plans for the Olympia are banally simple. More weight means more detail means more weight. It would be ideal to achieve the muscle quality of Dorian Yates and the symmetry of Wheeler's flex. I'm thinking of gaining another 5 kilograms. He trained and participated in tournaments for 4 more years, thereby showing his strength and desire to win. Jean-Pierre traveled to Europe again, took part in the Arnold Classic and tournaments in Canada, but could not rise above 5th place anywhere. Jean-Pierre took part in the Olympia twice more, but the 10th and 15th places in 1998 and 1999 respectively were clearly not the result that would satisfy our hero. And on May 2, 2002, a terrible thing happened. At a photo shoot for Flex magazine, Fux knees buckled during a squat without insurance with a weight of 310 kilograms or 683 pounds. The incident happened suddenly, which led to the athlete falling along with the barbell. The guys who ran up reacted with horror to the open injuries to his legs. Eyewitnesses say that Jean-Pierre did not make a sound. He sat in silence, waiting for the doctors, sometimes even joking. As Fux himself says, "At that moment, sitting on the gym floor and seeing the seriousness of the situation, I decided by all means to prove to myself and everyone that this was not the end. The doctors should have worked hard to stitch up the athlete's injuries. Despite the fact that Jean-Pierre believed that he would be able to rehabilitate himself and perform, the doctors prayed that he would be able to walk. But even here, the champion's tenacity prevailed. Not only did he manage to recover, he resumed training, but it was really the end for a successful professional career. Fux recovered from his injury but was forced to work with light weights and was unable to reach the peak of his form. The last tournaments for the Swiss were the 2 Nights of Champions, where he did not even qualify. His victory at the 1994 World Amateur Championship remained his only triumph. In his professional career, an athlete who was predicted to have a bright future and perhaps even the title of Mr. Olympia, and who had all the chances and makings for this, did not win. But he won the fight for his recovery. And in 2003, he decided to stop playing sports, at least with performances. During the period of his contract with Joe Weider, Jean-Pierre Fux organized his own small business, which he decided to focus on. He is now 56 years old and lives in the United States in the city of Palm Springs. The former bodybuilding star began to explore a coaching career. Since an injury ended his life as an athlete, the Man of Steel has made a career as an online coach, helping others achieve their own goals. As always, I will be grateful for your support. It helps in the development of the channel. Do not forget to click on the bell so as not to miss the new issue. Thanks for watching Sports Guru with you. See you later.